Good evening, and thank you all for being here, even though you could have been home right now enjoying yourselves. It's this kind of self-sacrifice that makes Lincoln so great. And if it wasn't for all of you here today, well, I'd be up here alone. So thank you for being here. I've been at Lincoln for 4 years now, and it's with great honor that I stand before you today as the class salutatorian. To start with, I really have to acknowledge the three most important companions I've had through my high school years. Google, Wikipedia, and Nescafe. I could not have done that. I was really inspired by the saying, today is the first day of the rest of your life. I'm not sure who said it, and it kind of sounded like something from Mr. Smith's blog. But the inspiration suddenly faded when I realized, as our great procrastinator Matt Strage would have preached to me, although today is the first day of the rest of our lives, so is tomorrow. And I didn't start working on the speech till 2 days ago, procrastinating like any true IB student. I don't know if you guys have read R.L. Stine's Give Yourself Goosebumps books. They often involve completely bizarre horror scenarios, like a mad monkey scientist performing experiments on you that leave the main character half basketball, half armchair, and half human. And I know, and we all know that that's too many halves, because we all took IB math. But try explaining that to a monkey. Anyway, at the bottom of some pages, the reader was presented with an option. To go left, flip to page 57. To go straight, turn to page 26. To stop reading, throw the book out the window. And so on, and the different choices would lead to different consequences. And while flicking through one of these books, it suddenly hit me. Isn't high school just a game of choices? The choices we make might lead us anywhere. To the college we want, to the sports team we want to be on, to that girl or guy that made our heart race from the first day we met them. And so on. Choices, choices, choices. I thought I made really good choices through high school, and look where I am today. Single. And sentenced to public speaking. I went down a difficult path. I chose the hard route by choosing to write my extended essay in global politics, a class I didn't take. Thank you, Mr. Milton. You shone bright like a diamond, guided me through my extended essay, and showed me what a real beard looks like. I'm sure there are some safe choices that one can make in high school, and staying up till 4:30 in the morning before my chemistry final cannot count as one of them. Staying up to study would have been a relatively reasonable choice, but I was up watching an NBA Finals game. And when I walked into the exam hall, got ready for the test, I dozed off. The invigilator woke me up when she got me the paper, and although I did all right on that test, for any younger students in the audience, just a quick warning that these stunts were performed by dedicated basketball fans. Please do not try this by yourselves. Mr. Go, I'm really sorry about that exam though. Really hope I'm still going to heaven and that I'm not a shoo. I remember I told a chemistry joke in class once. I didn't get a reaction. Thank you, Mr. Goa, for the endless fun and jokes we've shared while learning so much in a challenging chemistry class. Ever since I started high school back in 9th grade, teachers and family have been suggesting that I balance my time between my extracurricular activities and academics. 2 years ago, I started the IB, the program where the reflections are made up and your notes don't matter. All these suggestions turned into strong recommendations. But I just couldn't extricate myself from the activities that I was so passionately involved in, and I continued to be a part of the basketball team, the high school play, the National Honor Society, and as Malcolm mentioned earlier, my annual performance with a lovely lady. At every parent-teacher meeting, all my parents would hear was, "He's doing all right, but I wish he had less commitments out of the classroom." And tonight, I must confess, there were times when I shared these concerns. Let me tell you, of all the fates you could suffer in a Goosebumps novel, there is none worse than the realization that you have a higher-level physics test the next morning that you have not prepared for, set by Mr. Rafoso. There were times when I'd be at school for some reason till late the evening before the physics test, and Mr. Fosu would be in my head going, Nishant, this is a hard class. You need more time. Go Tottenham! Just one more thing to say, Mr. Fosu. Go Arsenal! Yeah?
No.
But seriously, thank you for making physics a class we all look forward to for 2 years, one that we're all very sorry to leave behind, and most importantly, thanks for being a bro. We had a WhatsApp group called Physics Buddies Heart, comprising of Mark, Jeremy, and I. Often the nights before Mr. Fosu's dreaded tests, while I'd be trying to cram formulae for electromagnetic fields and magnetic flux, my phone would be buzzing constantly with Mark messaging me saying, man, what do we have to know for tomorrow? Have you studied? No, what do I do? And Jeremy would always have this annoying composure and calm, leaving me and Mark to panic through the night. But thank you so much, Mark, for never letting me panic. The minute I had a moment of nervousness and I expressed it in our little WhatsApp group, I would immediately get a message from him saying, man, shut up. You're gonna be fine. Now tell me who the hell Faraday is and what's his law? We may have made the choice to take what is probably one of the hardest IB classes, but I think I speak for all of us when I say at no point did we regret our choice, because the rigor and the challenge of our choices kept us on our toes, and we got so excited about every little success that we enjoyed, that we came out of our own goosebumps tale, safe and sound and happy. One of my most time-consuming activities through high school has been basketball. And looking back to my freshman year, I remember when Coach Smith chose me to be a practice player with the varsity team, even though I'd never played basketball before moving to Lincoln. His constant support and his voice from the guidelines telling me to keep shooting, in spite of consecutive air balls, helped me grow as a player and as an individual. Sitting for my IB math final, a really nasty exam, wrestling with a first-order differential equation, there was Coach Smith in my head going, keep shooting, Nishant. Thank you, Coach. Hope you're here tonight. It's been an honor. And speaking of basketball, a huge thanks to the whole squad. We went in as a team and came out as a family. Especially to Jason and Zane, who put in so much work with me this summer. And I know Jason's gonna find me after this and tell me, man, you sweet. But thanks a lot, guys. You pushed me to improve, and I probably wouldn't have been on the varsity team this year if it wasn't for you. You the real MVP. The credit for me making the choice to be a part of the leadership PE class in my sophomore year goes to the very special lady who taught that class. Within a few minutes of meeting Ms. Kaba, I just knew that I had to be a part of her class. Under her wing, I grew as a leader and developed into a confident individual. Thank you, Ms. Kaba. I'll never forget you. Also, a huge thanks to those teachers who guided us through the MYP and those who suffered us through the IB. Thank you, Mr. Smith and Dr. Larkin. Your guidance has been extremely instrumental to our growth. Thanks to the Krakenator. You've made us laugh and shudder in our spots at the same time, and we're grateful for your support. Ms. Welchman, with all that homework, you had me dreaming about Spanish subjunctives for months. For resisting the urge to pull your hair out after my awful orals, and teaching me the basics of a whole new language, thank you. Thank you to Ms. Biegert and Mr. Rogers for showing us that nothing is what it seems and everything is a lie. TOK anyway. Hope you're watching, our man. Must have been a hard year being a Knicks fan, but stay strong. Mr. Sechi, you put in 100 times more work than all of us combined, and you made more notes than any of us ever could have dreamed of. I know this was your first time teaching Math HL, and I'm glad we could work our way through it together, doing all the gymnastics and manipulations that the IB demands. Mr. Nuclear, it's all right. We all make mistakes. It's okay, just for tonight, let's forget that you're a Celtics fan. I speak on behalf of the whole class when I say thanks for being a mentor, a father, and a friend whom we will all miss tremendously as we go off to different corners of the world. We'll never forget you, Mr. Nuclear. It is my choices over the past 4 years of high school that have helped make me who I am today. Each one of us here today has been molded by the choices we made. And as we move on from high school after tonight, we enter a new stage of life. Many of us are heading off to college, for which we owe Miss Stone a massive hug and thanks. Without her commitment, knowledge, and those little bits of heaven that she bakes for us on Saturday mornings, some of our dreams for college may not have been fulfilled. Thank you. Jon Stewart once said that the unfortunate but truly exciting thing about life is that there is no core curriculum. The entire place is an elective. Lincoln and the IB presented to us a multitude of choices. Classes to take, sports to play, friends to make. And while the number of choices that life holds in store for us is far greater, I think our teachers, our friends, our parents, and our entire high school experience has prepared us for whatever the world can throw at us come tomorrow. Remember, as Anne Frank said, our lives are fashioned by our choices. First, we make our choices, and then our choices make us. On a lighter note, I'm glad to announce that the world has made a great choice regarding education. Not too long ago, the great leader George W. Bush posed a crucial question. Is our children learning? Today, thanks to all of you, I can safely say, Mr. Bush, yes, our children is learning. Beware, everyone. The class of 2014 has been unleashed. Go Lions, stay classy.